Alright, gonna record another Eldraine draft here. Gonna do best of 3 this time, because I've got the gems for it. Okay. Return of the Wild Speaker, that's probably pretty good. It's an overrun effect for non-humans and also draw cards, in a pinch. I think that's probably a pretty good rare, actually. It's definitely a build around. We need to get a lot of non-humans, but that shouldn't be too hard. Um, I think the green-red deck is technically the non-human deck, but I've never successfully built that deck. What else is in the pack? We've got Spinning Wheel is a pretty okay card. Improbable Alliance is an amazing card, but it would lock us into 2 colors, which honestly isn't that bad. I haven't been super impressed with the blue-red deck outside of Improbable Alliance, to be honest. It seems like you really need to draw your payoffs or it doesn't do a lot of anything. Um, and Burning Yard Trainer. Okay, that seems not great. Probably okay in an aggressive deck. So really there's nothing here that competes too hard with Return of the Wild Speaker. Silverflame Squire is pretty good, and the rest of these are just kind of okay picks. So I think my second pick here, I would either jump into Improbable Alliance and just try to make the blue-red deck work, or I would just go with Spinning Wheel to stay open. But I'm going to just take the good rare here, Return of the Wild Speaker. Okay, this pack, so our green cards, if we're sticking with green, Rosethorn Acolyte is pretty good. Merrily Rider is better than I thought. You can build around it in a food deck. It's pretty good to, if you just build up a bunch of food on board, you can make, all your opponent's creatures block this and swing in with the rest of your team and for lethal a lot of times. So it's a better card than it looks on the onset. And just a 2-mana 3/1 isn't the worst. They're definitely a lot weaker than our uncommons in this pack. Hypnotic Sprite, very good card. Just a 2-mana 2/1 flyers, just already good. And then if you can actually get the counter off, this card is just insane. Valmar Knight's very good. Witch's Oven. Um, there's definitely a build around. I think on its face it's pretty bad, but if you build around it, it might be good. And then there's Ardenvale Tactician, which is a very good card. Might be the best white common, to be honest, even better than like Trapped in the Tower. Trapped in the Tower's common. It might be uncommon actually, but so I think these 3 cards are strong enough that I don't really want to just pick one of these okay-ish green commons. So the question is, out of these 3, which do I think is the strongest, and which do I think would lead to the best deck? So green-white is a good deck. It's the adventure deck. It doesn't really go with Return of the Wild Speaker because a lot of the green-white cards that are adventure-based are humans. Like for example, Ardenvale Tactician or the Squire we saw in the other pack. Foulmire Knight is just a good card. Green-black food value is pretty good, and Hypnotic Sprite is also good. I think green-blue non-human is potentially a deck if we wanted to focus in on this non-human theme. So I think I'm gonna go with Hypnotic Sprite and just try this green-blue deck because I've never built a green-blue deck in this format, and it seems like it might be kind of interesting to take advantage of this rare. So out of this pack, the best card is probably the card we'll be taking, which is Tome Raider. Tome Raider is just really good. A 3-mana 1/1 flyer that draws you a card. Nothing wrong with that. Second best card in the pack. It's kind of not immediately clear. Maybe Mystic Sanctuary. Gingerbread Cabin is okay. Again, in the food deck. Probably actually, you know, when you read this card, it kind of looks like the worst of the common lands, but it's actually really strong just to be able to get a food when you have those synergies. Flaxen Intruder, I haven't played it, but I think it's actually better than it looks, just because there's a lot of artifacts running around in this format, you know, that you can actually sacrifice it to destroy. Okay, no, this is worse. I thought it was just when it deals damage you destroy an artifact, but um, no, that's actually pretty bad. Okay, I'm gonna go with Tome Raider. Okay, Arcanist Owl is an extremely powerful card. We could try to shift into mostly mono blue, splashing the screen. Return of the Wild Speaker is definitely splashable. And this Hypnotic Sprite kind of leans us towards that way, being a double blue card. It's much better if we're blue focused. If we're not going to do that, we could do something like Unexplained Vision, which is just a good card to have at least one of in your deck. Opt is, you know, always playable, but really much better in the blue-red deck than this deck. Queen of Ice is playable for sure, but not really what we want to focus on here. I think I'm going to go with the Arcanist Owl as the highest upside pick. See if we can shift into a mostly blue splashing a little green deck. Yeah. So here's another Tome Raider. That's pretty good. And it's probably the best card in the pack. Fairy Godmother is, or Guide Mother is a pretty good card. If we had gone towards the green-white adventure deck, this would probably be our pick over Tome Raider. Gingerbrute's surprisingly good. And I'm just going to go with Tome Raider though. So this deck is looking pretty solid just from our first 4 picks here, our first 5 picks. So out of these, this is where we're starting to hit some of the chaff here. Nothing here is really good. I guess we take Garenbrig Carver. I think that's a little better than Tuvenvale Treefolk. It is a human. I wonder if... I mean, putting 2 counters on, say, a Tome Raider is actually pretty powerful. But it's just, it's such a clunky card. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Treefolk, but I'm not sure about that one. Okay, nothing great here. Merfolk Secret Keeper is good, but I don't think we don't really look like a mill deck here. We want to build up the board and do an overrun. I guess this is actually pretty good with the overrun effect because it's a non-human and it would be pumped up into a 3/7. That's not bad. I mean, our other choice here would be something like Wolf's Quarry, which is just not a really good card. It's kind of funny with Return the Wild Speaker, you know, making these 1/1s into 4/4s, kind of a combo card. But I think I'll take Scalding Cauldron, just as a pretty bad removal spell, but a removal spell. Okay, here's Wildwood Tracker. That kind of plays into our non-human theme, but it wants us to be pretty aggressive. And just looking at these picks, we just don't have an aggressive deck here. We have a deck that wants to, you know, clog up the board and win with a big overrun effect, or beat down with some flyers over time. So I don't think it's very good in this deck. Inquisitive Puppet is probably pretty bad. Runaway Together, I guess, is the pick. We do have Hypnotic Sprite would be good to bounce back to the hand, because then we could counter something. Arcanist Owl, Tome Raider, so all these would be good to return to the hand. So Runaway Together gets a little more powerful in that sense. Okay, Mistford River Turtle plays into our theme again of non-human. Whenever it attacks, a non-human can't be blocked. So I think that's better than Wolf's Quarry. So nothing great here. I'll just take this Mantle, but we're not going to play it. I think I'm actually going to take the Fell the Pheasant for the sideboard, because again, this is best of 3, so we do have a sideboard. So just being able to kill some flyers would be good. Return to Nature is another good sideboard card. Now we'll take Gingerbrute. Oh, all right. So this is one of the strongest cards in the format, I think, for limited. Just ridiculous. Just being able to bounce your opponent's best play and put a huge amount of flyers in the air. And this is even, I mean, imagine us doing this on turn 4, bouncing a 2-drop, and then untapping and turn 5 playing this and making our 2 fairies 4/4s in the air. I mean, that's so brutal. We could just kill someone on turn 5 with that. So really nothing in this pack. This is almost one of the best cards in the entire format. So nothing in this pack really matters besides it. I guess we'll hope to wheel around this Witching Well. I guess we would play that. The rest of the pack, there's another Ardenvale Tactician. If we had gone in towards a green-white direction, that would have been a good pickup. But yeah, there's no comparison here. Okay. So Outmuscle is pretty good. It's worse in our deck because it really wants you to be green focused and we're blue focused. So we're not going to hit that Adamant very often, if ever. But it's still a fight spell. It still grows your creature. I don't know. It's at its worst in our deck, I think, actually, because we just have such small creatures with such low toughness. We might take it just because we need removal, but it's honestly pretty bad. I think I'm actually going to take Clockwork Servant instead. Clockwork Servant, it plays into our blue focus here. It's great to bounce the runaway together, and it's also a non-creature for Return of the Wildspeaker. The best card in the pack is Bacon to the Pie, which we cannot play, but just a crazy card to be at common. And I think this is one of the big reasons aggro just doesn't really work in this format as well as it usually does. But yeah, we're going to go with Clockwork Servant. Okay. So Fairy Vandal is a pretty good card. It's much better in the blue-red deck, but we do have some Tome Raiders to turn it on. I guess technically we have card draw and Return of the Wildspeaker, although that's not what we want to use it for. Just a 2/1 flyer with flash for 2 is pretty good. I mean a 1/2. Beanstalk Giant is another good card. I don't know if it's as great in our deck because we're going to be blue focused, splashing green instead of green focused, splashing other colors. But just having a turn 3 play that ramps you into your good stuff, followed by, you know, a huge 7/7 is pretty good. But I think the best card is probably Fierce Witchstalker. The question is, so Fierce Witchstalker is just a really, really, really good card, but can we hit the double green reliably on turn 4? Because it gets worse the longer the game goes. You know, it's really powerful because it's a 4/4 trample on turn 4, which just outclasses pretty much everything else in this format on turn 4. But the question is, can we actually play it on turn 4? Because if we're playing it on turn 6 or something, it's a much less impressive card. I think we're actually going to take Beanstalk Giant. It's easier to splash. We're much more likely to have 1 green on on a turn as opposed to 2 green. And then we still only need 1 green to play its big half. And it's powerful enough that I think Witchstalker. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I think Witchstalker is stronger, but I'm looking at our mana costs here. Okay, so we would have really liked to pick up this Thunderous Snapper. It's just in our deck is going to be so easily castable. And also this Hypnotic Sprite, of course, is really good. But I think we just need to take Charm Sleep. We're just we're not in the most removal-friendly color here, being mostly blue and a little green. So I think we just gotta snap this up where we can get it. Hopefully we'll will one of these. I don't expect us to get this Hypnotic Sprite back, but maybe the Thunderous Snapper if we're really lucky. So. Nothing great here. Insatiable Appetite's pretty bad. Just too many ways to get blown out with that card. Elite Headhunter is a card I always want to play, mostly just because it looks cool, but I think it's probably actually a really awful card. So I think I'll just take another Runaway Together. Don't plan on running it. Okay, I guess we take the Steel Gaze Griffin just as a flyer. Probably not going to play that if we can help it, but it's at least mostly playable. Nothing great here. I guess we take the Defender there. Okay, So Tiny is pretty good. Again, we can't be too picky about how good our removal is in this deck, so Tiny gives us something. Yeah, and then we got back the Witching Well. I wonder if it's worth trying to play Wolf's Quarry with Return of the Wild Speaker, just because it's kind of a 1-2 combo. This card is really not good in and of itself. But Witching Well, I don't know if we can really take advantage of Witching Well, because I feel like we're going to be usually up against a wall with our deck not being so good at keeping us alive. So I don't know if we'll have the time to just crack a Witching Well. I think we're going to take it though, because Wolf's Quarry is just not a good card. I'm going to take the Wishful Merfolk. I don't want to run that, but if we're just light on creatures, that's something. Which one of these is better? I guess I'll take the... Yeah, actually, Mystic Sanctuary getting back Stolen by the Fae is actually incredibly good, so that's good. And another Mantle. Okay, let's see. Okay, Once Upon a Time. I mean, it's playable, and I don't know if there's anything else in this pack we really want. Yeah, I mean, what else are we taking here if we don't take that Golden Egg? Yeah. Shine Chaser. That would be kind of interesting in this deck if we could splash, you know, have a 1 white source try to wheel this egg, and 1 white land we could grab a Beanstalk Giant, but I don't think we're gonna have it turned on often enough. So I'll just go with Once Upon a Time. Okay, there's Frogify, which is good. And by good I mean pretty bad, but I think we're gonna take another Hypnotic Sprite. Yeah, again, I would want to take, if I could just pick a card irrespective of our mana base here, I think I would take Fierce Witchstalker, but I think I'm going to take Hypnotic Sprite. Gosh, another Fierce Witchstalker. So the best card in the pack is Epic Downfall. We can't cast that though. Queen of Ice is the safest pick here. It's something we can do on turn 3 and on turn 2. Gums up the board pretty well, but I think I'm actually going to take the Witchstalker this time. I think having a turn 5 or 6 Witchstalker is going to be better for us than a Queen of Ice. So I'll go with Witchstalker. Okay, so Moonlit Scavengers is a pretty good card. It's a non-human for us. It's just a great stabilizer, tempo play. 4/5 is a huge body in this format. And how many ways do we have to turn it on? So this is an artifact, this is an enchantment, this is an artifact. This is an artifact, this is an artifact, this is an enchantment. So we have, 5 or 6 ways to turn it on here. So yeah, that's good. I wonder if we take the Unexplained Visions. We really don't... The thing is, you don't want that many cards that just don't affect the board, And as great as Tome Raider is, a 1/1 sometimes doesn't affect the board all that much. If they just have a 2/2 attacker that's beating you down, and all you can do is play a bunch of 1/1s. think I'll take it, but I foresee a problem with this deck where we're just gonna be getting kind of crushed while we're sitting around dirtling. Okay, Moonlit Scavengers is good. That makes me happier about this Beanstalk Giant pick, because we have some good top end here. I guess this is more of a 4-drop, and these we want to be 3 drops more often than not. This is like a big, yeah, put this up here. So this is what our curve looks like currently. We kind of have not great turn 2 plays. This isn't even really a turn 2 play in our deck because we're not super likely to have green on turn 2. So it's more of a late game, find some action spell. Yeah, so we're pretty lacking early here. And this really, we can't even play this early because we're going to need to have something on board. So we're really dying on this front. I'm going to take another Mystic Sanctuary just because just the chance of getting back stolen by the Fae with Mystic Sanctuary, just extremely powerful. I'm kind of tempted to take Scalding Cauldron, but it is really like turn 3 removal at best, so it doesn't really help our early game problem. Yeah, I guess. So our choices here are either Lockwing Gargoyle or Witching Well. Lockwing Gargoyle, I mean, it's an early drop that blocks well. And I guess late game it's something, a 2/3 flyer. I guess I'm just not likely to run a second Witching Well when we already have this many spells that don't do anything, so I guess I'll take that. I hope I don't have to run it. Garenbrig Carver, I guess, is better than another Runaway Together. I'm gonna take another Mystic Sanctuary, yeah. Vantress Paladin is actually pretty good, but I think we have enough 4-drops, I believe. It's just, this is the most powerful thing we can do, so I'm gonna play into that. Yeah, we're not gonna play any of these, so just take this. We'll probably play that. Okay. So, let's see. So we need to cut 2 cards here. So again, our problem is going to be that we don't have a lot of early plays. So, can we shore that up at all? I mean, technically this can be a turn 2 play. A 2/1 blocker. This having to be a blocker is the worst case scenario. But it is technically something we can do. So I think we are going to play this Corridor Monitor. As unimpressive as it is, it's better than this Lockwing Gargoyle at least. Probably at least. Yeah, I think a 1/4 is better in this format than a 0/3, even though Lockwing Gargoyle is, you know, 1 less mana. Yeah, I think we'll have to go down some high-end stuff here. So I think Stillgaze Griffin. Let's see how many creatures we have. We have 16 creatures, so we can afford to cut some here. So I think we'll go down Stillgaze Griffin. And Tuvenvale Treefolk might be the next cut. Wishful Merfolk, I think, is probably the worst card in our deck, but we just need something to do on these early plays. And this is at least, probably will trade up as a blocker. I think I'll go down the Treefolk. I think we have enough high end here that we don't need the 6/5, and just putting 2 counters on, you know, it is kind of funny with Return to the Wild Speaker, you know, putting counters on something to grow its power and then using this to draw more cards, but that's just too dirtily, I think. There's probably an argument to cutting Once Upon a Time instead of the Treefolk, just because it's really not that good. But I mean, just as a late, you know, we're going to want our 6th land, so a way to find lands late and or find some action if we kind of run out, it's good enough, I think. I think it's good enough to be better than the Treefolk. So this is our deck. Blue-green, non-humans. Should be kind of interesting. I'm really hoping we get to do this combo at least once. Stolen by the Fae, bounce something big, make a bunch of fairies, and then Return of the Wild Speaker to have just a huge, you know, a bunch of 4/4s in the air to kill our opponent on the spot. That would be probably the sweetest play I've done in this entire format so far. So let's hope. Otherwise, just I think a solid deck. Little worried about getting overrun in the beginning, but yeah, I think it's decent enough. So, all right, yeah, be back for game one. All right, game one against Feldgriff. We get to play first. Always good. Yeah, this looks good. I think I am just gonna run out one of my hypnotic sprites here. That 2/1. Okay, so we're against the mill deck. I don't think that changes what I want to do here. I'd only really want to run out Corridor Monitor instead if I was against like an extremely aggressive deck where I would just need, you know, a good blocker on the ground. But instead, we're just gonna start running out these hypnotic sprites and beating down, see if we can outrace them. Yeah. These Mystic Sanctuaries might actually be, oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's about the best start I've ever seen for the mill deck. That's pretty scary. I'm going to hold on to this Mystic Sanctuary because putting a card back on top of our deck is good for a number of reasons. One, because we're likely to mill some of our best cards here. And two, it gives us one more card in our deck, which can really make the difference. So the question is here, do I want to hold up a counter spell, or do I want to just put in another attacker? Because then I'm getting in for 4 in the air every turn, but I think I'm going to try to get the counter off. We'll see. Rather than have a faster clock. Yeah, and this ended up being absolutely the right choice. The other reason I wanted to hold that up is for Tome Raider. Tome Raider would be really good here. So I'm going to, given what I just said, I'm going to also play the Mist for River Turtle here, because there is a chance that we play this Hypnotic Sprite out, and they play Tome Raider, and we're just not able to attack with either of our Hypnotic Sprites without having a trade. But this is good here. We don't really care about ground blockers. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We don't mind that at all. So here we have a Tome Raider. Let me go ahead and get in. So do we want to play Mystic Sanctuary? I think we do. And I think we're just going to hold up. So we're going to mill us here. Question is, do we want to draw? I think actually we'll draw a card with Tome Raider. And see if we can draw an island to play. I really want to get this Mystic Sanctuary, yeah. Okay. Then we'll also run out Hypnotic Sprite. So we've got a lot of attackers in the air here, so if he's just going to mill us and play some ground blockers, we really don't care at all about that. The worst thing he could do is play some big flyer that we can't reliably attack through. But I don't know if he's going to have anything like that. Yeah, we don't care about Thunderstab at all. But things are looking pretty good for us here. We're going to just get in. I probably should have checked before I played that island if there was something in the graveyard I wanted to get. I'll do that now, so next turn we'll know. There's nothing really, anyway. So do I want to play the Mist for River Turtle plus the core? I think I do. So I'll play these two, and this way I'll have an artifact for next turn, so I can bounce something with Moonlit Scavengers. So Corridor Monitor is an artifact, and we need that for Moonlit Scavengers to be able to bounce something. So if they play a flying blocker here, we can just bounce it and swing it in the air for a ton of damage. Yeah, we really don't care about anything we're doing right now. We're going to just outrace them. They're not going to be able to mill 13 cards before we kill them in 2 turns. Run away together. It's pretty good, though. That's okay, again, because... Oh, does he have a fight spell? Oh, no. Okay, just another mill spell. Okay, so, yeah, we don't care about this. So we're looking like we're going to win this one, so... I'm actually going to... Oh, okay, a little bit of a misplay. I don't think it'll matter, but I meant to play Mystic Sanctuary there. I clicked the wrong card, but we'll just get in here. So they're pretty dead here. I don't think there's anything that saves them. Unless they're just able to mill us for 8, which isn't... If they have 2 more Secret Keepers in hand, I mean, that's a thing that could happen. I don't know what's 4 mana. Are they just going to replay? Okay. So that doesn't... yeah, that's not going to save them. Unless they... Well, they could draw an island and 2 Merfolk Secret Keepers, and that would beat us. So if they drew exactly that, we're dead. Okay, they didn't draw exactly that. Okay. So, pretty good game 1 there. We just outraced them. So, Mill. Is there anything we have against Mill? Fell the Pheasant doesn't really stop anything they're doing. Return to Nature doesn't really stop anything they're doing. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. It doesn't seem like any of these effects are going to be good against them. Run Away Together is actively bad against them because most of their best effects are either adventures or enter the battlefield effects, so bouncing a creature is just awful. In fact, we might want to just side our copy here out for something else. Yeah, I don't think there's anything good we can bring in, but there's probably some bad things we can take out, which is Run Away Together. And So Tiny is also pretty bad against this deck. So maybe I bring in Steelgaze Griffin and Tulvenvale Treefolk, and I go down to So Tiny. And so we're kind of slowing ourselves down here with some bigger drops, but they actually do something in this matchup where those 2 cards are pretty awful. It's also possible they have, you know, given the colors they're in, they have some good flyers that we maybe should have brought in Fell the Pheasant so our flyers could get through. We'll see. We didn't see any flyers of them, you know, at all last game, so I'm not going to bring it in just based on speculation. But if they had just had, you know, like that blue Paladin that is a 3/3 flyer, that would have just locked down our attacks pretty badly until we were able to bounce it. And that probably would have shifted the clock in their favor. So there's maybe some argument to bringing in flyer hate just because that's their #1 way to kind of slow down our clock enough that they can beat us. But I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to be on the draw, which is bad because we didn't win that race by much. They've got a pretty good mill deck here. They were able to mill us for 10 on turn 2, so can't get much better than that. This is not the fastest hand, but I don't think we can throw it back. Yeah, are they going to do it again? Let's find out. They could very well just once again mill us for 10 before we even do anything. Let's see. Island isn't really what we wanted. Yeah, if we might just get off too slow of a start here. Let's see. Oof. Yeah, it might be happening again. Okay. At least he doesn't have 2 of them. So not as bad, although we are still doing a whole lot of nothing. So it looks like what we're going to end up doing is Clockwork Servant, maybe putting the counters on Clockwork Servant. So there's a flyer. And then, just so we can attack with it. And then, actually, there's some argument to holding up with Hypnotic Sprite, but we're just doing nothing if we do that. You know, if they just pass, that would be really bad. Or if they even just play a 4-drop, it's not going to be able to counter that. Okay, see, that would have been nice to counter, but... So now there's not even really a reason to put the counters on our Clockwork Servant here. So I think instead what we do, play the Turtle. So nothing to get back with Sanctuary yet, but I'm sure they'll give us something before too long. Okay, so they're holding up, they're probably holding up a counter here, so I don't want to just slam in this Tulvenvale Treefolk into that. So what I'm going to do is just attack with both here. This guy can make my clock imblockable, and so we're at least getting through some damage. And then we'll pass, and maybe they'll play something we can counter with the Sprite. If not, hopefully they'll play something where at least they're tapped out, and we can slam our Moonlit Scavengers next turn. Okay, oof. That's a big boy. That is a tap out for Moonlit Scavengers, but it's also going to be coming down next turn, and we're not going to be able to stop it, which is a little unfortunate. But we can also start making our Moonlit Scavengers unblockable with River Turtle, which is good. So we're gonna... There's some argument to playing Arcanist Owl here, but I'm just gonna play the big card while I can. I think while they don't have a counter up, this is a good turn to get in our biggest card, because next turn if we do play 2 cards and one gets countered, well at least we're doing something, but if we slam our biggest, you know, card into a counter, that's just brutal. Tall as a beanstalk. So they brought in all the flyer hate they could. So that's gonna kill us. Let's see. So if we were to let's see, we've got 5, 6, 7 mana here. So I could play Arcanist Owl and leave up the counter of Hypnotic Sprite. Then we're still getting beaten down by the 4/4, and that 5/5 is probably coming down. I could put Tuvendril Treefolk on Moonlit Scavengers. I don't think we're winning the race, but I think that's better. I think this is better. I'm not 100% sure about this, but this gives us a 3-turn clock, and hopefully we'll find some disruption to make their clock slower than that. You know, and if they're probably going to play, you know, Pride of the Peak this turn, or whatever this card's called, Prophet of the Peak. But if they don't, if they play something we can counter, that's pretty good. They got us on a 2-turn clock here. We really need to find something to disrupt that Tome Raider. You know what? We're going to do it. It's not the most high impact card, but I'm almost certain they're going to play Prophet of the Peak alongside that, so we're probably not getting any better before this game is over. Runaway Together would be pretty, I don't know. Would that be good? It's an instant, right? So they don't have to do it now. Yeah, that's... I don't know if that's good or not, because we can always just bounce the Tome Raider here, which severely decreases their clock. So, let's see what they milled. Still nothing to get back with our Mystic Sanctuary. That's kind of unfortunate. So, what we're going to do... Yeah, we're going to play Moonlit Scavengers, bounce their 4/4, get rid of that problem, and play Hypnotic Sprite, and get in for 2 with our Turtle. So we do have, you know, I think we're actually winning this race now. Depending on exactly what happens, but we've got a 2-turn clock with this Moonlit Scavengers. Sure. You know, it's not actually a 2-turn clock because they can play that 5/5, which would eat our Turtle. Okay, that makes things a little harder. So, this is gonna be hard. We'll see what happens here. So, I think I go with Arcanist Owl. See if I can find something to deal with this Fairy Vandal. Nothing. Okay, well that's just going to be probably a blocker then. So in that case, I'm going to get in here. 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to be able to kill my River Turtle. I think what I do is actually this. This puts me in a bad spot because any sort of bounce kills me, because they can bounce my owl out of the way and attack for lethal, but it means if they kill my turtle, they're going to be taking damage. Yeah, I think I do this. I think, yeah, this puts me dead to removal, but it means my turtle lives. and that means I win next turn if they don't have removal. So, I guess we'll do that now. I don't think it really matters. I think we're still dead regardless. Here, we'll just tap that. Nothing to get back, so we'll see. We know they run multiple runaway together, so that's all they need to win the game here. Just anything to get my Arcana style out of the way. But I think that was the right play. It puts us in the best position to win. Oh, that's not good. That is a lot of cards to draw and not find a way to get rid of this Arcana style. So we're probably dead here. But what can you do? I think we put ourselves in the best position to win, so... Oh, maybe they don't have it. Potentially, unless they're just saving it to get rid of the Moonlit Scavengers. So we're gonna win here if they don't have something. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I think we played that right. We played it a little risky, but we made the right plays and put ourselves in the best position to win. They just had to have an answer and they didn't, so we put them to the test. Alright, so win game 1 here. Very nice. I'll be back with game 2. Alright, game 2 against Stompologist. Alright, Stompologist. Huh. This is a hard one. If we don't hit lands, we're in real rough shape here. We do have a corridor monitor to kind of lock things down. I think I'm going to keep this. This is borderline, and I almost threw this back. Okay. Okay, well that's pretty good. So once upon a time, we're not going to cast right now, but once upon a time will let us find something to do. It'll either find us our 3rd land, or at the very least, hopefully another 2-drop. Oh, jeez. Okay, I've never seen this deck before. But, so we're going to hold Once Upon a Time until... Yeah. Okay, so I think what we do... Is there any point to playing Corridor Monitor right now? I guess, just in case they play something different here. I have a person to block with. So because I'm about to play something, I'll play Once Upon a Time. Because if it's the first spell, I get to play it for free. So we're going to take... I'm going to take a... We're going to take a Forest. And play Corridor Monitor. So next turn we're going to probably just play a Mystic Sanctuary tapped and do nothing, which is a little brutal. And then play our Fierce Witchstalker on turn 4. Okay. Yeah, we're still going to do that, just because I want double blue in case we need to Charm Sleep something. We could have played an untapped Forest there and saved that Mystic Sanctuary for later, but I think we're better off. So this is a Mardu. What is our opponent doing? Okay, well, I'm clear to play my Fierce Witchstalker here, so I really have no idea what our opponent's doing. This, I mean, a Mardu deck seems to be like it would be Knights, but they're not doing anything until turn 5, so... Oh, maybe they just have a handful of removal. So what we're gonna do here... We're gonna Charm Sleep this Fairy Guide Mother. We could have potentially done something like play Return the Wild Speaker to draw 4. But I think we just need to stem the bleeding here. We're taking a lot of damage. Okay. Well, kind of regret getting in for 1 here. I wasn't expecting Ember's Paladin. So I'll be able to block that next turn with Corridor Monitor at least. Okay, so now we've got Mystic Sanctuary on. Is it worth getting back Once Upon a Time? I think what I'm going to do is... Oof. So I can draw 4 here, but then if he has removal for my Corridor Monitor... Yeah, I think I'm just going to play the Turtle here. And I think I am going to get back Once Upon a Time. Just to give us something cheaper to do. This Return the Wild Speaker, I don't think we need it twice to win this game. I think we just need to stay alive long enough, and we're going to win anyway. So the biggest thing... Oh my god. Jeez Louise. Okay. Whoa. Jeez. I guess this is an instant, right? Yeah, I guess I'd just do it like this. Oof. So now I'm kind of regretting putting that Once Upon a Time back on top because... Okay, so we're gonna have to instant speed this Return to Wild Speaker just to make big blockers to try to kill these guys. So we'll see. Looks like he has more removal. Brutal. Okay, yeah, we don't care about that. This is actually good, because now he thinks he's got good attacks. But, we know. Is there? Wait, do we need to do this? Yeah, we do. We know non-human creatures we control get big. So now we get to eat both of his creatures and lose neither of ours. So this ended up being a really good turn. Now we're going to Once Upon a Time. Jeez Louise, okay. Well, I'm glad we did that. We got 4 lands out of the way. So now we get to Tome Raider here. We're not going to bounce the Fairy Guide Mother and just turn that back on. Seems like a bad idea. Ooh, boy. Alright, now we have Unexplained Visions turned on, which we're just going to go ahead and do. Okay, and we get to Scry 3 as well. Jeez, yeah, so this is looking extremely good. I think we're just going to... So we're probably going to play these Moonlit Scavengers. How much mana do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I think I'm going to actually put So Tiny on top, followed by... We're never going to be able to really play these, because we're going to be just doing Moonlit Scavengers, so I guess I'll just do it this way. But, yeah, we're in pretty good shape here. I think I'll get number 1. Just leave back in case he's got another one of those hasty guys. We can block it with the turtle pretty easily. Okay. This isn't good. So this card, it makes a random token every turn, and they're all pretty good against us. It's just a non... Okay, this is only a creature. Pretty brutal. So what we're gonna do, just block and bounce that knight. Yeah. We're just gonna start getting in here. Again, I'm going to leave back the turtle. The turtle should be able to block anything this makes pretty successfully here. Yeah, like that is nothing. We're going to leave back 2 blockers just because we're at a low enough life total that we don't want to get just blown out by a couple removal spells. Okay, so what we're going to do here is run away together the Lifelinker and our Witch Stalker. Because this lets us play it back again and get... We're not going to play another Moonlit Scavengers just because we don't really care about bouncing that. So we're going to play 2 spells this turn. We're going to play Fierce Witch Stalker. We're going to get in... Yeah, we're going to get in with everything here. Make this unblockable. And then we're going to play Wishful Merfolk and leave up So Tiny or Eating a Food. So now we've got double blockers. Okay, so this is the... Oh yeah, we're fine with that. This is the one way I could see them winning, is if they were able to stall us out and just shoot us 4 times with this rogue. But if they're not going to even try to do that, I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, so this merchant gets to loot here. We're still looking pretty good. I mean, we've got another Moonlit Scavengers for next turn. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and eat this food. Okay, and let's see. We bounce this, make this unblockable. We should have lethal, so I don't think there's anything they can have that'll save them. So what we're going to do is bounce their Merchant of the Veil. If they loot in response, if they don't loot in response, that's a little scary, but... Oh, I meant to activate the Merfolk. That's a bit of a punt, unfortunately. I think I'll leave this back now. So we made a little bit of a mistake there by not activating the Merfolk like I meant to. I guess it's not the end of the world. We're playing it a little less risky this way in case they did have some sort of spell I'm not thinking of that could kill one of our creatures. Sure. Oh, geez. I should have attacked the corridor monitor. Alright, so I messed up. I messed up in multiple ways that turn. Not great. But we should win here now. Sure. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Okay. So now we've got to win. So we just attack with a team here. I don't think this is gonna work, opponent. I'm not even gonna play our So Tiny. We could have done So Tiny to stop the life gain on that life blinker, but we just don't need it, and we don't need to show them that we have it. So, let's see, an aggro deck. They did have Fairy Guide Mother as a flyer. I think that was the only flyer we saw. But they could have things like Flutter Fox, which would be good in that deck. There's some argument to bringing in Garen Brigg Squire just as a 2/2, though it doesn't do super well against their first strikers. So what are the worst cards in our deck against this? Let's see. Maybe like Unexplained Visions a little. Yeah, let's go down Unexplained Visions and go up to something that'll stop them in the early game. So I think Garen Brigg Squire versus a Gargoyle. This doesn't block their first strikers. This could potentially get in for damage, though. I think I'm going to go with Gargoyle. It's just it works a little better with our non-human synergies, with our Moonlit Scavengers, etc. And maybe Fell the Pheasant would be correct over this, but I'm just going to go with Gargoyle and see how that goes. Gargoyle is pretty bad, but I mean, just as a 0/3 blocker that we can, in the late game, turn into a flyer. Not too bad. Yikes. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan. Our opponent mulliganed, and I'm going to mulligan this as well. Yeah, this is much better. So I'll keep this. I'm going to go down. As much as I like Return of the Wild Speaker, I think I just want stuff to do that impacts the board immediately, and it's just too easy for them to have a couple removal spells, you know, a couple trapped in the towers, and all of a sudden that card's sitting in our hand doing nothing. We'd much rather have just anything that could block. So, I am going to go ahead and run out this Mystic Sanctuary, just because I'm worried we won't draw any more lands before we get to turn 3, and I really want to be able to do things on turn 3. So, play another island. Opponent says nice, I don't know. Okay. Do I want to So Tiny this? I think I do. Just so it gives us some more breathing room to kind of set ourselves up a little bit better here. Okay. I think we are going to go ahead and... I think most of the spells in their deck are going to be counterable by this. And we don't want to just sit around doing nothing. So I'm going to get an island here so we can turn on this Clockwork Servant. There's a chance they just drew their Mythic and that was what that Nice was for. Or maybe they just drew all lands and they're upset about it. I'm not sure. But here we go. Again, I'm not going to just sit around holding up the counter. I'm going to start putting things on the board. Maybe now I can sit around holding up the counter. They do have a lot of... Okay, yeah, that's not sure about that. Okay. I'm gonna keep playing stuff. Tome Raider. Hope we draw into a land here. We did not. I think I just don't attack. I think I want this game to go as long as it possibly can, you know? So, sure. So, I think we'll double block this guy. Just get rid of a 3/3. Take 4 here. Okay. So I've got 5 mana. I think I'm gonna play the Merfolk and leave up a counter. And see how that works out. So they can get in with a Knight here, which is a little unfortunate, but oh well. Hopefully they don't have too many 4+ drops. Alright. This is really good. That's great. Yeah, take the 2. Okay, and still not drawing lands. Kind of brutal. But now we can start doing stuff like playing this Hypnotic Sprite and leaving the other one up. and start getting in. Okay. I think we are going to double block here. It lets them kill our knight, our sprite, but it stops us losing life, and it puts them in a position where they have to do something. Okay, well they just got. We didn't really want that merfolk anyway, so. Oh. So this is brutal. They played. So this is a 5-mana spell, so normally we wouldn't be able to counter that, but they played the adventure mode of it, which is 3 mana, so we were able to counter it. But that puts the whole card in the graveyard. So they are just really up a creek now. So we're gonna just run out a bunch of flyers and just try to kill them before they can draw into anything now. We're not gonna try to play a controlling game anymore. We have such a commanding position that unless they top deck something incredible, such as that, okay. So, Alright, we're gonna get in with everything. We're still gonna put them to the test here. But what do we do after that? I think we want to... I think we want to play the turtle. Just play a turtle. And this blocks anything that... anything that can come out of that Outlaw's Merriment. Yeah. Okay. I don't even have anything in the graveyard, so... I think we're gonna keep the Moonlit Scavengers until we have something that we need to answer with it. You know, we could block their lifelinker here. I mean, bounce their lifelinker here, but it doesn't leave them dead. And so I'm gonna just play Arcanist Owl. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna play Moonlit Scavengers, and then we can just turn on this guy next turn. Instead of playing anything, we can turn him into a flyer, and then he's dead in about 100 different ways. Okay. So we pretty much dominated against that aggressive deck, especially in game 2 there. Just not a good matchup for them, I think. So, alright, game 2 won. On to game 3. Alright, game 3. Against Cardis, or Cardris. Okay, not keeping this hand. Oh, no. Huh. Oy. I think we're going to keep this. This is a very questionable keep, but we do have Witching Well, which lets us scry. We're going to definitely put this beast at the bottom, just because we need 2 green sources and just not very likely to hit that anytime soon. Okay, that is a huge deal that we hit that. Now we get to scry for 2. Hopefully scry into 2 lands. Oh, well, at least we got those out of the way. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard one. We just had 2 really... Okay, we don't really mind that. We're probably not getting anywhere close to that anytime soon. Well, you know what? Maybe 2/1 flyers for 2 is enough to win the game. We'll find out. And it's not. It's not enough. No. So this card, this Brimstone Trebuchet, has reach, so we can't attack through that. Jeez. I think we just pass here. So it looks like we're up against red-black knights. I think this is generally going to be a pretty okay matchup for us, but not with a hand like this. Oof, Ogre Aaron's pretty good. Okay. So what is our path to victory here? We gotta have removal for this Trebuchet, put a bunch of flyers in the air with Stolen by the Fae, and do an overrun. Like, we gotta have our best possible hand, I think, to win from this position. So I'm gonna play Clockwork Servant and just hope we draw into all of that. Unexplained Visions would be good. I'm hoping I hit a land here. If we can not fall behind on our land drops too much, that would be okay. We're gonna fall behind on our land drops. Yeah, this is looking rough. The question, if they attack with the Ogre Errant, do we double block? I think so. I think trading one of these for an Ogre Errant's worth it, especially because it's going to be giving other stuff menace besides its own, 3 per turn. Where this goes really bad is if they have a pump spell, but they're in red-black. I haven't seen any hint that they're actually in Mardu. So, well, Yeah. Yep. Got 2 for 1 there. And really, pretty much the worst 2 for 1 possible, because it's a 1 mana spell versus our 5 mana 2 spells that we just got ran over. Okay, so is there a way we can play 2 spells here? Not really. Maybe we need to just play Stolen by the Fae and bounce the Shield Breaker to lower the amount of damage. We're not going to be able to, like, if we played this Wishful Merfolk, we're not going to be able to block because of Menace. So I think we just play Tome Raider here. Play Tome Raider, draw a card. Ugh. Yeah, we're in dire straits. Things are very bad for us right now. Oof. Reap Soul, yeah. To be honest, that's not even... That's normally going to be a pretty good card against us, but to be honest, we're in just such bad shape now that that doesn't really change anything. Okay, still at 4 lands, huh? Yeah, I think we just play 2 blockers here. Just so we can try to kill this Ogre Errant. Not looking good. Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're probably dead here. Yes, okay, we're dead. Alright. Game 2. Yikes. Okay, so quite an aggressive deck. So Return to Nature would deal with... The only artifact we saw was Trebuchet, but Trebuchet is pretty good against what our deck is trying to do. Run Away Together is probably pretty good against their deck. I don't know, they have such cheap creatures that are we really getting that much of an advantage? I think we do bring in Return to Nature. If not, they probably have at least one other target. You know, the Knight deck, especially the red-black Knight deck, has some equipment it cares about. So chances are there's at least one other thing we can hit with that. And if we bring in that, what are we going to go down? Probably Unexplained Visions. We are not going to have time to cast something like that. Yeah, and I think we go with this. Maybe should have brought in the green 2/2 for 2 as well, just as a ground blocker. There's less for strikers in the red-black deck. But okay, you know what? This is okay. We're okay again with them. If they do want to do their Empress Shield Breaker to blow up this Witching Well, we're okay with that, because hopefully that clears the way for our Scalding Cauldron. The Witching Well, you know, 1 mana scry for 2, it's not really worth a card, but it's something. So if they blow it up after that, it's not the end of the world, but the Scalding Cauldron we really want to stick. Yeah, I think we're gonna bottom both here. We really just want to find some more early game, 2, 3, 4 drops. We're not really worried about the late game. Okay. So, okay, I am going to play the Scalding Cauldron here. And if they want to blow that up, it's fine. You know, if we do get to the point we get to draw 2 with the Witching Well, okay, so that's really good. We could have played the island there, but I actually didn't want to represent any other counter in the game. You know, I want this Hypnotic, I want it to look like we don't have counters right now. And so, okay, well they don't have anything until turn 4 anyway, I guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna play the turtle right now. I'm just gonna... If they play something we can counter, we'll counter it, and if not, we'll draw cards. Oh, that was a big misplay. I wanted to draw cards there, but the game had other plans, unfortunately. Ugh, I meant to draw. Well, yeah, that's fine. We could have countered that, but I just don't care about a 2/1. At this point, we got 5 lands, we're going to be able to start playing our big stuff. It's just a 2/1 I don't care about. Okay, let's say, yeah, I think we still just leave up our Sprite. Sure. I guess we just so tiny this, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, that's good. Now we have an enchantment out there for him, so now we can play the turtle and leave up our Hypnotic Sprite. I'm gonna start getting in for one here. If they play something sizable, we can bounce it with Moonlit Scavengers. Yeah, we're gonna counter that. I think they probably have a lot of removal in hand, actually, because they've been doing nothing. So, this thing is probably still gonna die. Oh, that is not something I expected. Huh. I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll sacrifice a goat and let him draw a card. That's pretty bad for us. We can have some way... We're gonna need to draw our sleep spell. So I can bounce it, but then it just comes right back down. I think instead I'll... yeah, you know what? If they want to spend the next few turns just playing Clackbridge Troll, that's fine. We're gonna start getting in here. And give us a bunch of goats. And these are non-humans. So if we draw... did we put Garrix on the bottom? No, we didn't. So if we draw Garrix, all these goats are going to become 3/4s. So that's something. I'm going to start getting in unblockably for 4 here. Okay. We are going to actually let him through this time. Because we're about to block this thing. We're okay with taking 8, yeah. A lot of damage, but I think we are in a good position here. So I'm going to get in unblockably. Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and play the flyer here. We still can leave up both Hypnotic Sprite and run away together this way. So I'm going to bounce this and this. I wonder if there was an argument to bouncing that pre-combat so we would have a chance to tap it down. Not sure. No. So yeah, we're hoping with all these goats he's giving us, if we can draw our rare, we'll be in good shape. Dang. I had more mana than I thought. Okay. I think to put ourselves in the best position here, go ahead and play that out. We're not going to attack. But yeah, this is going to be hard to win. Sure. So we're going to take this chance to get some value out of our Return to Nature. Not really what we wanted to do with it, but it does stop them from drawing a card effectively. Eesh. Okay, so we're really struggling here. Things are getting worse and worse as we go. Yeah. I don't even know if the Garrix would get us there now. Looks like they might have Bacon to it. Yeah. So they're gonna Bacon to Impie Moonlit Scavengers, which is pretty bad. Okay. Get him with the Smitten Swordmaster. Oh. And we get flinged out. Oh man. That was a pretty cool deck we went against, and it absolutely stomped us. Just didn't have an answer to that Clackbridge Troll and kind of stumbled game 1. So there's our first loss. So let's see if we can do better on game 4. Alright, game 4 against Phoenix 44. Okay, we are going to keep this hand. Yes. Let's see what we're up against. I think turn 1 we're going to play Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, Eye Collector. This is probably a mill deck. Yeah, we're going to play Mystic Sanctuary turn 1. Just because getting this Witching Well down turn 1 doesn't really matter all that much. But we do want to hit our Tome Raiders on turn 3. So Eye Collector, this is probably a mill deck, I would guess, unless they are just really hard up for playables. Yeah, so blue-black mill is what it's looking like. Okay, so we're going to... Oh. So if they have Drown in the Loch, that 1 mill can counter either spell we can play this turn. So what's more important? I think we want to play Witching Well. Try to get our next couple turns set up so we can draw some lands, because that's really what we need. As great as Arcanist Owl is, we're pretty far from that, so we're going to both of these. The reason I was kind of debilitating about which one to do first, or deliberating, was if we're going to run it into a counter there, which one are we most afraid of getting countered? Alright, so we're fine with this. Next turn, now that the coast is clear, we're going to play our Tome Raider, which we probably will trade for this Eye Collector just to really to stop the milling and turn off any milling synergies he has. Queen of Ice is going to be able to get in. Okay, we're okay with him using a Reef Soul because we really didn't use a card for that. Okay, so 2 Eye Collectors. Let's see. I think I'm just going to do the same thing here. Tome Raider, try to trade for one of his Eye Collectors. And we're getting close to where we can play 2 spells a turn here. So yeah, I'm fine with this. Sure. Okay, so he's used 2 removal spells on my Tome Raiders, which you can see he's got 3 spells in hand and I've got 6. So it's put us at a pretty big advantage, card advantage wise, but the bigger problem right now is we're just taking a lot of damage. So I've got 5 mana. I think what I'm gonna do, there's a lot of incentive to holding up this Hypnotic Sprite to counter something because I've only got 3 mana. And chances are they can have some removal. But I think I'm gonna play it out as a 2-1 blocker. We're gonna just try to get 2 of their creatures off the board this turn. Because again, they've used so much card advantage just killing our Tome Raiders that, you know, we're okay with all this other stuff. We just want to make it to the late game and take advantage of this Unexplained Visions. So as long as we don't die, we're doing pretty good. So they have another So Tiny here. That's fine. So now we're going to be able to, we've stemmed the bleeding a bit, we cut their damage in half. And now we're going to be able to Unexplained Visions while they're tapped out. We also get the, okay, yeah, put this on the bottom. I think this, yeah, this makes sense. So next time we're going to play Moonlit Scat. Is there anything worth putting back on top? I'm going to save this until after we do Return by the Fae. So right now I'm just going to play an island. So once we get Stolen by the Fae off, the worst thing I could do here... Oh. That was a pretty big misplay. Jeez. I forgot they were milling us. So I just put 2 pretty good cards on top for them to mill. Woof. Yeah. Oh well. Now what we can do is... Moonlit Scavengers. Let's see if we got something to deal with that. Alright. So we save a point of damage here by doing it like that. And then, I mean, we're going to start, I guess, Stolen by the Fang. They're Eye Collectors, as bad as that seems. Because, I mean, it'll at least put a 1/1 flyer on the board, right? And we can get it back with Mystic Sanctuary. What else are we doing? Jeez, okay. Alright. I think we're gonna do it. Yeah. So we're gonna do this for 3, or for x equals 1, just to bounce their eye collector, and that lets us do this, and then. I'm gonna actually wait until we get this other eye collector off before we start slamming Mystic Sanctuaries, because there's a big enough chance that they'll oh, I'm an idiot. I could have Mystic Sanctuaried and then Clockwork Servant to draw the card immediately after I put it on top. I've had some misplays this game, I'm not gonna lie, but it does look like they would have milled it if I had considered that, which I didn't. So, okay, that's good. That gives us some life. I'm gonna get in here. Just gonna play 2 spells this turn. I'm gonna play Witch Stalker, River Turtle, and then next turn I can Mystic Sanctuary, crack Witching Well, get back the card immediately, and then cast it immediately. So. Is this just all removal? It's just some really bad creatures for attacking with the plan of just killing everything I play. Okay, we don't care about Eye Collector. Is that the 3rd Eye Collector? Or, no, that's the one we bounced, isn't it? Yeah. Sure. Alright. So we're looking pretty good here. I'm gonna swing in with everything. Make, I guess this unblockable. Sure. Yeah. Now I'm gonna Mystic Sanctuary, get back Stolen by the Fae, to immediately crack the Switching Well. I'm gonna play Stolen by the Fae for 3, bounce their Queen of Ice. This lets them reuse their tap down ability, but that's okay. Maybe I should have done that pre-combat as well to get rid of that. Yeah. I've had a rough game. Just need to think through my plays a little better. I was thinking I want to do it afterwards to see what they did. They had no mana up, and really, they couldn't have done much there. So it probably would have been better just to get that Queen of Ice out of the way, so our blockers, you know, our Clockwork Servant wouldn't be tapped down the way it is. Sure. Okay. I want to crack this food just to kind of get us out of dead range here. Let's do Beanstalk Giant first. Go get an island. Do I only have... Oh! I didn't realize how low I was on cards in my deck, so... We're going to bounce this. Get in with these 3. Yeah, we're more likely to win to lose the mill game here than anything else. So next turn I'm going to play the giant and just start. I think we can probably kill them before they kill us. This Mistford River Turtle can make the Moonlit Scavengers unblockable. Oh, well, damn. We killed ourselves with that Beanstalk Giant. Okay, well, I deserve to lose that one. I misplayed a lot, so... Oh, they have it Stolen by the Fae too. Good to know. Good to know. They really didn't need to play that, but let's see. So what would be good against this deck? Definitely Fell the Pheasant to get rid of some of their flyers. They had a lot of So Tinies. So Return the Nature is probably worth it. I guess Run Away Together is better with all the So Tinies because we can bounce our creatures that have been tied up there. And I probably want to go down. So Tiny is good against their flyers. I guess I'll keep that. I guess we don't need these 2 ground blockers quite as much. And I've got to go down 1 more card. I think I'll go down maybe just a River Turtle. I don't like that. Okay, let's see if I can do a little better this time. Think through my plays a bit more. I think we were probably dead regardless there, but if I had actually looked at the number of cards in my deck, I wouldn't have searched with that. Okay. Yeah, that stolen by the Fae would have meant we weren't getting in for lethal anyway. But still, not the correct play, regardless. This hand seems decent enough, especially on the play. Hypnotic Sprite is a lot better on the play than on the draw. It's just so easy for somebody to, if you're on the play, by the time you've got 3 mana up, they'll have 4, or on the draw rather. So, yeah, being on the play definitely makes it better. Let's see if we can draw. Okay, well there go both of our scavengers there. So we're gonna try to scry into a land. Okay, that's good. And let's see if he lets us keep it. He plays another Secret Keeper and perhaps mills that land away. Here it goes. But at least it was just a land. We still have a pretty good chance of drawing a land here. We do not draw it though. Well, we're falling behind here, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just get a clock on the board. We can't sit around hoping to draw a land so we can counter something while they're gonna start playing stuff. Okay. So making them Reap Soul this turn instead of actually playing something relevant is good. Okay, so there we go. Start playing our Tome Raiders here, put some pressure in the air, and if they start killing this, then we're in pretty good shape. Okay, let's get in with our Tome Raiders, see what they do. Nada. Yeah, I think we'll just play another one, see what they do. Probably didn't say please. Yeah, that's okay though. Now we get to drop the Scalding Cauldron, which will hopefully get rid of there. And actually getting these some of these good sorceries in the graveyard is okay, because we have so many Mystic Sanctuaries. I think we have 4. Sure, we're fine with that. Okay. So now we're gonna Beanstalk Giant. We're gonna be able to play 2 spells this turn. So we're gonna Beanstalk Giant for Island. And then we're gonna blow up this Queen of Ice. The Scalding Cauldron. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here, all things considered. We got Fell the Pheasant 2 to deal with any of their... Yeah, so we're just gonna pass here. Got Fell the Pheasant at instant speed, so tiny at instant speed, or we can draw cards. This is kind of the best of all worlds, because now we can Fell the Pheasant. And if they counter this, we still get to draw 2 cards. Alright. Draw 2 cards here. Okay, we're looking pretty good. So we're gonna attack. I really want to put more pressure on the board. I could play this Hypnotic Sprite. I think I'm going to. I think there's a chance they have a counter here, but yeah, that's good. Because they didn't have the counter, so now we have 3 damage in the air instead of 1, which is going to make this race a lot more winnable. Sure, yeah, we don't care about that. So they are leaving up mana here. What could they have that they wouldn't have countered the Hypnotic Sprite? Yeah, I'm gonna do the Unexplained Vision. See, if they counter this, that's okay. Okay, they're not gonna counter it. Put all this to the bottom. I guess I'll put 1 land on top. And we'll see what they do here. Now we can so tiny like if they play a blocker that we need to worry about, we can so tiny it still. Not care about Queen of Ice. Right? So let's play an island here, get into our flyers. And I think we're gonna... So if we Stolen by the Fae for X3 here, that's 5. We got 6, 7, 8 mana. So we'd have 3 mana left to... We could play Clockwork Servant still. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll go 1, 2... There we go. X equals 3. We're just trying to put as much pressure on the board as we can here. Sure. Okay, so we finally got that out of their hand. We're okay with that. But now we're going to play our Clockwork Servant. Draw a card. Nice. Mystic Sanctuary. Sure. Okay. Now we're going to play Mystic Sanctuary. Get back. Stolen by the Fae. So they don't draw. Let's see. Let's get in with all of our attackers here. See what they want to do. See, now they're tempted not to block, so they can mill the Stolen by the Fae, which is what we want them to do. Because yes, so now we get through our damage, and we can play Arcanist. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Whoopsies. And let's see. Am I really down to 2 cards in my library? Holy crap. Okay, we're going to tap this down now. And pass the turn. Hope they don't draw anything very good. Ugh. Jeez Louise. Well, they drew the best card they could have. So damn, we got milled out twice in a row here. So that's going to be the end of our league, unfortunately. So we just couldn't kill this guy fast enough, unfortunately. I kind of kept losing track of just how low we were too. But the mill deck is real in this format. It's pretty good. So that's going to be our 2 losses. So we went 3 wins, 2 losses. That last game we could have done better, but I don't know. I kind of lost track of things. Was paying more attention to other things that I shouldn't have. So let's see what we get out of the packs. So we got 4 packs here. Wildform Preserver is pretty good. Currently, Standard is looking like a kind of a 1-deck format, so Worthy Knight. It's not part of that 1 deck. Let's see. Ooh, a Mythic Harmonious Archon. Pretty good. Pretty unbeatable in draft, I would say, but not really that good in constructed. Oh, it does match the current standard environment of everything being turned into 3/3s, but... And another Fervent Champion, okay. So, okay-ish packs, okay-ish draft. Kind of sad we never got to do the overrun with Garrix. We just didn't draw it enough. But overall, I had fun. I hope you enjoyed watching, if you did, and thanks.